What is up? What is up, familia? What is going on? Everybody drop a 7 in the chat if you're excited about tonight's call. Let's go. Let's go. Man, it feels so good to be back on here. Guys, no, I'm not in jail. And no, these are not my toys. My son is in the background playing Fortnite. Son, wave at everybody. I only do calls around my kids in 2022 because I want them to hear the value that we drop. Like I said, it's so good to be back. If you guys don't know me, my name is Louis Armstrong. I've been in this company for a hot minute. I consider myself an OG, HFX extraordinaire. I'm already retired, 36. I got 6 kids, guys. This company has been a blessing to me, but most importantly, the individuals, our leadership has been a miracle to me. My boy Tim, Mike Navarrete, Jason Brown, Matt Rosa, they have been incredible mentors. I can't forget about Nancy because she's also been a huge mentor to me as well. So tonight's fire is going to be some of the hottest sauce that you guys can get, because what ends up happening is we actually, you know what? Drop in the chat what the title of our call is about tonight. Drop the title in the chat. What is our call about tonight? Oh, nobody knows? What's up, guys? Closing and how to face no's. All right. Handling objections. Yes, guys, this can be a very, very difficult subject for a lot of individuals. Why? Because nobody likes to be rejected. Nobody likes to hear somebody say no, especially when you come at them with great intention. You don't want them to say no. You got a gift. You want to share the value of what you learned with them. So you're like, no, you can't say no. No, you cannot reject me, right? That is some of the most, I guess, it hurts, man. If you get rejected, it just puts a damper on your life. It puts a damper on your self-esteem. But the way to get over that is really listening to your mentor, understanding how to edify, understanding how to really come off. And the biggest thing that's what is really going to happen, what's really going to help you, is learning how to close. Guys, understand, closing is where it's at. Building that relationship, closing the deal, right? Closing the deal. I'll say that. That's something Eric Worre told me. Close the individual with great intention. So I'm not going to keep you guys too long, but just understand, 16 years in the market, I've been doing entrepreneurship, and I've closed a lot of people, and I've had a lot of rejections. Understand, it's not the people that say no, it's the people that say yes that stick with you the long haul, right? So like I said, we got a great mentor. My man has been doing a lot of taking notes. He's put a whole grind session together. He's coming with some huge fire. This is an individual, man, that I truly love like a brother. He already knows anything ever happened to him or anybody messes with him, I got his back. You already know, right, Tim? Hey, somebody who's always been there. He came to my dad's funeral, and that just shows me the true individual of this guy. With that being said, guys, please drop a huge 777 in the chat. 2022, whatever the case may be, for our next chairman 100 right here, Tim Sloma. Hey, Tim. Hey, guys, pens and paper. Get your pens and paper ready. Record everything that you guys got. So give it away for our man, our mentor, the man, Tim Sloma.
Awesome. Well, let's go ahead and dive into this. You know, Louis makes me laugh, and you know, because I'm sure he's laughing about a specific situation. I'm laughing about a specific situation, but really there isn't someone who's more of an OG than there is Louis Armstrong. And, you know, this is one of the most well-respected people that Mike and I work with. It's always funny because Mike and I are always telling how much we love him, you know, how much we appreciate working with him, and just to take from his experience. And I think that's one of the most amazing things about this business, is about the community, is, you know, it's not about the rank, right? It's not about who's at what position. Each and every single one of us has so many different strengths, so many different, you know, values and things that we're able to bounce off each other, right? I use people in my organization to do opportunity calls, to do closing calls, to you know, have three-way conversations, to launch people, because I know their strengths. I know how they're able to connect. And so I'm just super grateful that, Louis, I get to do this call with you. I'm super excited for everything that you're doing. I'm excited to see you in Miami at the boot camp this month, and I'm excited to see many of you other at the boot camp. So as you guys see, I have the mirror here. I'm here with the squad out. I don't have to turn the camera all the way around because y'all can see it in the back. We're here in Schaumburg, Illinois, doing a little event. We have a presentation at 7:30, team training at 8:30, getting ready for the Alex Morin event. Each and every single one of you most likely has Alex Morin in your hot market, right? Whether it's Chicago, it's Milwaukee, it's New York, it's Miami, it's LA, it's Dallas, it's Houston. Really, really get your eyes on those events. Get your eyes on what's happening, whether it's the crypto events that are happening, it's the opportunity events that are happening, because people are searching for this. My Instagram is being blown up with, Tim, I'm ready. Tim, I've been wanting to do this for years, but I think now is the time. This is the time, right? This is the time to go out there and make it happen. But that's not what I'm talking about, guys. Tonight, I'm talking about in my personal opinion, right? One of the most important skill sets that you need in order to build your business. Remember, to make your first 6 figures in network marketing, it's going to be based completely off skills, right? And this is where you're going to want to start taking notes, guys. Like we're jumping right into this, and I'm going ham because I actually took notes, and y'all know how I am when I take notes. Put a lot of thought into this training. I remember I called Mike. Let me do a little story for you guys. I called Mike. I'm like, Mike, bro, like, how do I train on closing? You just do it. Like I don't know how to train on that. What am I going to tell him? Hey, just put me on the call and I'll do it for you. And Mike was so mad at me. He's like, no, Tim, that's not what you're going to do. You're going to train on how to do it so they can do it too. And I'm like, damn, you're right. Well, but that's why we're here today. So remember, to make your first 6 figures in this industry, it's going to be based off skills, right? To go from 6 figures to make multiple 6 figures, it's going to be how well can you duplicate those skills, right? So for Mike and I, right, in making multiple 6 figures in network marketing, we've done the first 6. Now to make multiple 6s, how well can we duplicate it? And then to get into 7 figures is how well can you promote? And so for most of you on this call, each and every single person on this call right now should be focused on the skills. And it doesn't matter if you come from a previous company or where you made 6 figures, or you come from corporate America where you made 6 figures. One thing that I learned is that when you join this industry, you have to unlearn everything. You have to unlearn everything. It's like with trading. Most people that come into this, I came into this industry, I came into I Am Mastery Academy with trading experience, 9-10 months of trading experience. Then I learned about Elliott waves, and I learned about harmonics, and I learned all these different things. And then I found out how the markets actually move. So I had to unlearn 2-3 years worth of information to actually be successful in the market, right? It's the same thing with the business. It doesn't matter what your experience is. You have to learn these 7 skills. And so these are the 7 skills. I'm going to drop them in the chat. We're only going to talk about one of them today, but the 7 are prospecting, inviting, presenting, closing, following up, launching, and promotion. It's funny because for me, for example, everyone is going to be good at something different. The only skill I learned, literally, and I promise you guys this, and I'm not saying you don't have to learn what I'm teaching you, because John Guaman actually, I'm going to tell you how I got a lot of the information for this training in a second here as well. But, for me, I only knew how to prospect and invite all the way up till P2000. I wasn't doing presentations till I was a P2000. I wasn't closing till I was a P2000. I was following up, right? But I wasn't launching. I wasn't promoting. I was leveraging my mentors. But then I was going through my training, and I found 2 trainings from 2019. And John Guaman says, you should learn or begin to learn how to close at Platinum 600. I was like, maybe I need to reconsider my thought processes here on what closing really is, because I began to say, okay, cool, let me really deep dive and look through some of these notes and think about how I was thinking when I was massively in the trenches building the business. Not that I'm not there now, but when I was on my road to P1000, I was on my journey to Platinum 5000. I was going through the process of hitting Chairman 10. And I began to, think about it. I said, you know what? There is no one moment where you're closing. There is no one moment where you're handling objections. That happens throughout the whole entire process. It happens from the first message all the way to the sign up. It even happens when people join your business. I still believe when someone joins your business, if they don't pursue Platinum 150, they're still not closed. They still don't believe in the vision. They still don't see themselves a part of the bigger picture, right? Because if they were truly closed, if they truly had awareness, if they truly understand what we were doing, they would want to build the business. They would understand why we're doing it. They would say, okay, I see the people who have the largest trading accounts, The people with the largest portfolios, the people with the most experience are the biggest builders. Why? Because they've been closed on the business, they've been closed on the vision, they've been closed on themselves, they've been closed, right? And I think a lot of us are scared to say this word close. Right? I remember a lot of people say, well, I would prefer to open them up, right? Open them up to the idea of it. I get it. That sounds cute. That sounds nice. No, I closed you. Deal with it. Anyone currently on this call upset that I closed you? Anyone on this call currently upset that you're learning this information? Anyone on this call currently upset that you made money from your phone? Anyone on this call currently upset that they have built relationships? No, no one's upset. So yes, I closed you. Someone just messaged me, happy as fuck you closed me. Exactly. Good. Right? Good. And I'm going to talk about what it takes to be a closer and posture and different things like that are a part of it. But this is important. Remember, you are closing from the moment that you message them, from the confidence that you're putting out there, from the posture that you have. The moment you start talking to someone, they start getting closed. Because if Armando approaches me about a business and I can't smell his confidence, I can't see where he's going with that, I don't believe in him, I'm not going to get started. Right? People are getting started with you in this business because they know you're going to help them get to where they want to go. They're not starting with you on this business out of a whim, out of just a chance, right? I used to hear a quote, be so crazy that people join you just in case you're right, right? Have such a big vision, have so much energy, have so much excitement that people think you're crazy, but they join you just in case you're right. That's why I think Drake is such an amazing leader, because that dude is crazy. But people get started with him just in case he's right. And most of the time, he is, right? Most of the time, he is. Now, if you're in a position right now where you're not comfortable doing calls by yourself, you're not comfortable presenting, you're not comfortable, that's okay, right? This call originally, honestly, we were going to keep it secluded. It was really only going to be for high-level P600s, P1000s, and we were going to personally call through and train. But what we began to think was, okay, let's not limit who comes on this call. We never know that there's a customer on this call and they hear one thing and they're like, you know what, that makes sense, I'm running. And so we opened this up and so guys, today's call is going to be really, really high level, right? There's going to be a lot of like, how do I say this, like fundamentals and theories and mindset things. And there's also going to be a lot of technical things too. And so be prepared that if it seems like a lot, it's okay. If you're in the position where even after this is my even you're still not feeling comfortable, this is my number one recommendation. Make a list right now, right? Make a list right now and number it out 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And who are 5 people that you can use, that you know you can use for opportunity calls, that you know you can use for closing calls? It may be me, it may be Mike, it may be Nancy, it may be Lewis, it may be Armando. For me, for example, I have a list of people I know I can go to. For high-level people, I always use Jason Brown, right? For Spanish, I always use Mike or Nancy, right? So, for, whomever, right? I have a list of people. And this is really, really important. Build relationships with these people, because you never know. Like I used to have a guy in my business, he was a customer, right? He's a full-time trader now. He's no longer in IM. He just got married and it's okay, right? He learned the skill set. He's making money. But I used to bring him on calls, right? And he would talk about IM for me because he was a teacher. And so anytime I met a teacher, I would introduce him to them so that they could connect on a different level, right? So build your list up so you know who you can use and you can take advantage of. Now, let's really dive into this. That was kind of just the introduction. Now we're going to drive into we're going to get the meat and potatoes here. And for you vegans, the ice cubes and lettuce. And so who do you need to be and what do you need to be as a closer, right? Like what kind of characteristics do you need to embody? And I think there's 5, right? I think there's 5 things that you really need to focus on to be someone who can close. Number 1 is you have to have the expert factor. You have to be someone that assumes they're getting closed. Like when I hop on a call, I have so much confidence and so much posture that people say, why wouldn't I get started with this? Like when someone gets on a call with me, I operate as like, why wouldn't you get started? I don't ask if you're ready. I say, cool, I'm going to send you the link and we're going to schedule your launch call. When are you free to do the launch? Then I let them give me an objection, right? We're going to talk about how to handle those objections in a second, right? But I have posture. People know that I don't need them. They know. They know when they get off the call, my life is going to be fine and dandy, with or without them. I know where I'm going. I have confidence. I have the expert factor. I know how to walk through the back office. I know how to explain cryptocurrencies. I know how to break down the market. And so I come in being the expert. Remember, people aren't looking for someone on the same level as them. They're looking for someone, and this is part number 2, who can help them achieve their goals. People want to partner with people that can help them achieve their goals. They really don't care what you've done. Like, this is why people think, oh, well, I need to have results to build the business, or I need to make $1 million to start building the business, or I need to get funded to start building the business, or, you know, I got to go chairman 10 to start building the business. There's all these different things that we tell ourselves, but no one cares what you've done. All they care about is that, can you get them plugged into the right people to get them the results that they want? Which leads us to number 3, having a trust factor. Can they trust you? Have you properly built the relationship with them during the call? Guys, I spend the first 5 to 10 minutes in a 30-minute call building trust, getting them to know me, getting them to like me, getting them to trust me, being interested, not interesting. I remember my original mentor in this business, Justin Anderson. I will shout him out to the day that I die. He's no longer in the business. He's, you know, doing his fitness career and all these different things and working with the church. And, you know, I wish him the best, right? What he used to say is, I will out-friend everyone. No one will be a better friend than me. No one is going to trust me more. I mean, no one is going to get more trust than myself, or whatever the heck he would say, right? And one of the best books that I think that you can read to grow in this is a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. How to Win Friends and Influence People. I remember one time I was in my master's program and we were talking about books, and a lot of people like, you know, we're talking about what our favorite books are. And I said that book, and this one lady, you know, and it was like probably church leadership. She's like, oh, so you like to manipulate people. And I'm like, oh, well, you're going to be really enjoyable to be around. I guess you don't want to win any friends over, right? And I'm like, every conversation is manipulation. When you're pursuing a girl, right, you want her to like you. When you're pursuing a guy, you want her to like you. When you're pursuing a business partner, you want there to be equal value. That book helped me so much grow, getting, okay, how do I like get people interested, right? How do I get them to know me, like me, trust me? How do I, you know, what questions do I ask, right? I think a lot of the times I'm able to get out of a lot of sticky situations or even conversations because I'm like, I just don't care to always be right. I don't care to have to prove the point, right? And because of that book, right? And guys, like, trust me, get that book. Anytime you hear someone talk about a book, even if you don't read it right away, buy it, right? There's like 3-4 books over the past month or so that I've heard that are on my Audible that I haven't started yet, but I bought them because I heard my mentor talk about them, which means they're probably good, which means they're probably something you want to read, right? I mean, you don't have to do it now, but what if you're bored one day and you're like, I'm going to start a new book. Oh, I go to my Audible. Cool, this book is 5 hours long. I can knock this out in 2 days. Knock this out an hour a day over the week, right? So read that book. Big, 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 big. Number 4, being emotionally detached. And this is, oh, I got an ice cube. Oh, God. It's frozen water. Emotionally detached is very close to number 1, but you need to understand that you don't need people for this business. You don't, right? You need this business for people. And when you start saying like, oh, I need this person to get started, that's how you're going to start acting on the call, right? I don't need anyone for this business. I don't. Like when people leave yeah, and is someone else giving up on their dreams, destroying mine? No. You have to be emotionally detached from the close. And that's how you're going to get people to get started. Number 5, always be prepared with tools and materials, right? Always be prepared with tools and materials. Always have I always give people Jim Rohn, how to take charge of your life. Or I know how, I have websites that I can send them. Anytime they ask me, oh, I need to do more research, right? And we're going to go into that in a second here. So let me go ahead. I'm going to write this note right here. So I didn't actually write this one down. I had the 4 top objections, but now I have 5. And so number 5, always be prepared. right? So guys, if that helps you, that gives you like a little bit of an understanding of what you need to be thinking, who you need to be, what you need to be doing while you're closing, drop a 5 in the chat for that. The next part we're going to talk about is handling objections. And I think that this is really, really important to understand, is because objections don't start at the end of the presentation. They start in the beginning, right? Objections start the moment that you start presenting. And what I mean by this is, let's look at the 5 biggest objections. Number 1, time, right? I'm gonna go ahead and just post these in here, right? So you guys can just copy and paste them, or do whatever you got to do, because sometimes, I feel like I'm going slow, and then everyone's like, I'll repeat them, right? So time, right? Number 1 is time. Number 2 is money. Number 3 is not capable. Number 4 is more research. Number 5 is pyramid scheme, right? These are typically the 5 biggest objections that I experienced when I was first building. A lot of times I'm not experiencing that now. And let me tell you why. Because as I present the business, I'm talking about these objections, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to give you an example of each in the presentation. And then I'm going to give you an example of feel, felt, found, right? And this is some of my, this is my favorite thing that you can do with feel, felt, found, is helping people get past their own limitations. Because a lot of the time, it's never any of these 5 things. It's never them not having enough time. It's just a lack of priority, right? It's never them not having enough money. It's just bad spending. It's not that they're not capable. It's just a lack of belief. It's not that they need to do more research. It's just you weren't convincing. It's not that it's a pyramid scheme. They just didn't see the value in the actual education, right? And so these are like really important things to understand, is that most objections really aren't real. They're just not sold. They're either not sold on you, or they're not sold on the company. One thing that I began to understand is, anytime someone told me no, it means that I probably didn't present to their personality. I probably didn't present to their desire or what they were looking for, which means that I didn't get to build a deep enough relationship with them. Because when you're building a relationship with them, you're looking for trigger words, right? I'm looking for, okay, are they busy with school? Are they busy with work? Or do they need more money? How do they talk about themselves? Right? Like I always ask the question, hey man, I want to get to know you, what you're passionate about, and why you're looking to create multiple streams of income. That's like that's the number 1 question I ask in the beginning, right? I get edified, right? Quick 30-second, 1-minute edification. I say, you know what, Johnny, it's a pleasure to meet you, man. I love doing this call because I remember being on your side of the screen and someone answering all my questions and really breaking this down for me, yada, yada, yada. I want to get to know you. Who are you? What are you passionate about? And why are you looking to create multiple streams of income? And let me tell you, each and every single one of those is triggers. Who are you? I wait to see if they're going to tell me what they do or who they are. I wait to see how they smile and their energy increases when they tell me what their passions are. And the reason why I say multiple streams of income over Forex, over cryptos, over whatever, is because I refuse to get someone on a platinum package started. It doesn't make sense. One stream of income is too close to 0. And so if that's true for a job, why is that not true for entrepreneurship? So when I talk about multiple streams of income, it's now going to open me up to start talking about the business. It's going to open me up to start talking about these things. And so when I'm listening to them talk, oh man, I resonate with that. Hey, I remember when I was in school, I was dual degreeing. I was doing my senior year of accounting. I was doing my first year of my master's program. I was playing collegiate soccer. I was working in 2 different student governments. I was treasury. I was playing professional games. I had a girlfriend at the time. I was working 2 to 3 jobs. My life was crazy, right? And so I resonate with them on their trigger point so that they can feel that we were on the same page. Where I'm at now, I was able to get here from where they started too. Right? I got to where I'm at now from where they started too. I'm always finding ways to resonate with them, at least one thing. And if I can't find it, I keep asking questions till I can find it, because I need them to see them in me. I need them to see that they're capable of doing this because I did this too. I say things all the time. Well, hey, I'm super excited about showing this because you should have extreme confidence, right? Like what I went through is the same thing that you're about to go through, the same education, the same mentorship, the same back office, the same community, the same compensation plan. The only difference between you and I is I've just been doing this for more time. And the best part about that is now you can leverage me and learn from my mistakes. So what took me 18 months to do this full time, we can now start doing it in 6, 9, 12, whatever. Right? So objections start getting handled in the beginning of the presentation. It's not, okay, cool. present the information. What did you like? What did you not like? No, right? You want to cut off as much as you can, as quickly as you can, right? So time, when I'm talking about go live, I typically do in the education. I really do it across the board. I always say, hey, listen, what I love about the education is it's only 20 to 25 hours long. So even if you only did an hour a day, even people that have no time in the world, and I say everyone has time, right? And I make them laugh, I make them joke, I make them agree with me. It's like a car salesman. A car salesman is going to get you to say yes 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times before they ask for the sale. I'm going to get you to agree with me 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times before I ask for the close, right? So I used to love this because I remember in university, right? If I'm talking to students or younger people, I remember university, I was paying $40,000 a year, money, right? I was paying $40,000 a year to learn about Genghis Khan and how many cells were on a leaf and Beethoven and all this nonsense that taught me nothing about money. So what I loved about this was if I just spent an hour a day for the next 3 weeks, I was going to learn the fundamentals about crypto. I was going to learn the fundamentals about trading. I was going to learn the fundamentals about e-commerce. Money, right? I say, okay, everyone has a different budget. But what I love about this education is that no matter where you're at, there's a different platform for you to do wealth accumulation, right? There's a different platform for you to, move your money around if you have a large amount of assets, right? I always say it's crazy because I have people all over the world in Latin America where the average household income is $200 to $300 and they're still taking advantage of this. Now, when they tell me they don't have enough money, they're going to remember I talked about I have teams in Latin America, right? Number 3, I'm not capable. Okay, so what I say all the time is, how can you really do this if you're talking about not being capable? Right? I use this example a lot. I always say it's awesome because in Puerto Rico, I use this all the time. In Puerto Rico, we have grandmas who watch Mike. They're 60, 65, 70 years old, and they're learning how to trade because they're bored. They're already retired. They're just bored. And it's so cool to me because I have 65-year-olds doing this. I have corporate America people doing this. I have single moms doing this. And I have parents who are paying for their 12, 13, and 14-year-old kids learning how to do this because they know university, school, the W-2, the 9-to-5 route isn't going to work for them. Right? So I'm talking about these things. Oh, I need to, here's an objection. I need to do more research. Right? This is the best quote. The number one thing you need to say. Right? The number one, and this is where you posture up. Right? This is where you posture up. Hey, I need to do more research on the market. Hey man, well actually, I've been doing this for 2 years, and I consider myself probably one of the most qualified people that you'll talk to about this personally. What are some questions that you have about the market? So either I can break it down now for you or direct you to the right research. I would say 8 out of 10 times they have no questions. They were just they just weren't closed on you. Anytime someone says more research, they're not closed, right? And that's how you overcome that rebuttal. A lot of the times they'll say, hey, well, we're going to get into those things, right? We're going to get into those things, right? We're going to get into those things. Number 5, pyramid scheme, right? I don't get this one at all, like really at all, because the way that I present the information is I do it so shortly. I always say, well, this is how I typically present the business plan and the affiliate program. This is me personally. What I do when I'm presenting is I say, hey, normally I don't talk about this with everyone, but you have an entrepreneurial mind. And I think you're someone that, and you've said to me, you want multiple streams of income, right? Yeah. Okay, awesome. Well, what I love to do, and this is what happens like most of the time, right? Remember, how you talk about and what you normalize, people do. This is why I say most people, the first week when they get started with me, they're getting their feet wet, right? They're learning about the back office. They're learning about, Discord. They're getting their feet wet. And then what happens is they want to take advantage of our affiliate program because we actually have a scholarship. And so if you get 2 people started, right, your monthly membership is free. So imagine that $275 you're paying every single month, you now get to invest because you saw the value in something that other people are going to see the value in as well. Now, here's the craziest part. You're not going to want your friends to pay, are you? Right? Do you want your friends to pay so you don't have to pay? No? Cool. So we're going to help them do the same exact thing. Imagine this. You get 3, 4, 5 people started, right? Because you got a result or you believe in everything that I told you, right? And it's actually working. Now the company's going to pay you $600 a month if 12 people join your business, $1,000 a month if 30, $2,000 a month if 75, up to $1 million a month. Do you think having an extra $600 to $1,000 a month right now coming in continuously into your bank account would help you learn this information, would help you invest, would help take care of some of the bills that you have at home? Of course it would help. Amazing. Well, I don't like talking about that all the time because I don't want a guy who doesn't go to the gym talk about going to the gym. So number one, I want you to become a student, but I want you to understand that we have an amazing opportunity to help other people get out of very similar situations that you're in right now. Oh, but you know, that sounds like a pyramid scheme. Oh, that's okay. You don't have to do that part. 90% of people pay for this every single month. My business is actually 92% customers. I just think that there's a different breed of people who understand opportunity, what we're in right now, and can see the future. And I just love helping people. So if you don't want to do that, don't have to. A lot of people say like, oh, well, it's a pyramid scheme, or this is like, you guys get so caught up in fighting it. You don't have to fight it. Why fight it? If they don't join, remember, have a piece of outcome. Who cares? Next. See you later. There's millions of people out there that want this information. There's like, guys, I don't know if he's on the call. He's on the call right now. He's not on the call. You'll see this recording. I don't really want to give his information out there. Let's just say that he's a producer for a Grammy Award winning artist, a crazy one from Chicago. You know, maybe you guys know him, right? And he's also the head sound engineer from one of the largest churches in Texas. And he's calling me today. We're on the phone. He's up till 4:30 in the morning, blowing up me and Weaver's phone. And he calls me today. We're talking, and he has all these crazy ideas. He's like, yo, I have connections with all these people who can sponsor us some Oculuses. I want to do all these events. I want to blow this up because, man, I've been studying all night. And what we have here is insane. This is someone who's already a millionaire. This is someone who works with some of the largest artists, will be at the Grammys, sitting next to that artist. And he's calling me at 4:30 in the morning, and other again at 5 o'clock in the afternoon today, saying we have to blow this up because the community needs it. Do you think I'm going to be upset because Joe Schmo at Home Depot thinks this is a pyramid scheme? I don't give a shit. I'm going to go work with him. I'm not working with Joe Schmo. I'm not. I don't care. And the moment you stop caring is the moment you'll stop thinking about, I need to find the perfect objection, the perfect way to talk about this. You don't need to. You don't need to. This isn't for everyone. We still need accountants. We still need cashiers. We still need cooks. We still need laundromats. We still need people to work. We still need people to work, right? So that's okay. Guys, I would much rather have aces, jack, queens, and kings than 2, 3, 4s, and 5s. Not that those 2, 3, 4s, and 5s can't level up, but if they're currently in the zone of 2, 3, 4, and 5, okay, maybe I'm going to go give them some personal development. Maybe I'm going to invite them to another event. Maybe I'm going to show them a video and let them grow first. Then when they're ready, cool, we can go ahead and go do it, right? So that's where it starts, guys. It starts in the presentations. And here's something that's so big. Don't use what I'm using. This works for me. This works for me. A lot of the things I talk about is coming from experience. It's like I still get no's. I still get no's. I got a no, just like I've got no's this year, right? Like I've got no's this year. I'm with AJ right next to me, one of my personal business partners, one of my customers in the business, looking to build a business. I've got no's with him. People that didn't show up. It's okay. Are we tripping? No, we're on to the next. Because when the business partners show, the jack, queens, kings, and aces are going to grow, right? You're going to be good. You're going to make it happen. So let's talk about the next thing. Feel, felt, found, right? This is what I still use. I still personally use it. Sometimes I change it up, but this is a good baseline for you to use, right? Feel. Let me type this in the chat. Feel, felt, found. This is the greatest way, in my personal opinion, to connect with someone and move them towards the next direction. So let's look at this. Let's say Lewis comes to me, he's like, you know what, Tim, I just don't think I have the money to do this, right? Like right now, bills are really tight. That's okay. Hey, you know what, Lewis? I completely feel you, man. You know, I felt the same exact way when I was in college. Like I was working 3 jobs and still didn't have enough money. But after deep thought, what I found out is I've been working since I was 16. I was 22. And over the course of 6 years, I didn't have $325 to invest. That was a problem. And so I began to understand that if I didn't change something in my life, nothing was going to change. And I think you're in the same exact situation that I was. And just be quiet. I don't think I have enough time. You know what, man? I completely feel you. I felt the same exact way. When I first got started with this, I had like an hour a day. I had like an hour a day. But what I began to understand was I was paying $40,000 to go to school. And this was costing me $175 a month. And if I just spent an hour a day doing this, I wouldn't have to worry 40 years from now about where I was going to work. Right? Feel, felt, found. I don't think I'm capable. Hey, man, I completely feel you. I felt the same exact way. I actually found out when I was being presented this information that I had belief issues. I didn't believe that I could do this. But then I began to go to some events. I began to hop on more webinars. I began to plug in, and I began to realize there's people who are just like me in even worse situations. And then just be quiet. Whoever talks next loses. I'll sit there silent. This is why I always, like, I don't know if y'all notice this. I always have a drink with me when I present. Because when I typically take a drink, it's because I'm waiting for them to respond. I used to feel the same exact way, man. I'll sit there, go like this, wipe my mouth a little bit, maybe wink at them if they're not, responding. I'll just wait. You want to wait for 2 minutes, man? I'll be awkward with you. I don't care. I'll probably never see you again. It doesn't bother me. Like, we can be awkward together. Y'all are awkward with me all the time. I'm like, all right, let's do Q&A, and then y'all are quiet for 20 seconds. I'm like, what the hell? People are gonna be watching the recording and just my face like this. You know what I'm saying? So whoever talks first loses. Whoever talks first loses. That's when you say that, they're gonna tell you the real problem. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, Tim. I'm just really broke right now. I'm super broke. I'm using my credit card for everything. All right, well, you know what, John? Look, how open are you to having like us creating solutions together? Like, is this something that you really want to do, or is this something you don't want to do? Man, this is something I really want to do, and if you have any ideas to do it, awesome. Let's talk donating blood, selling clothes, picking up an extra shift, right? Whatever it may be. And if you don't know how to do the solutions, hey, you know what? I actually know someone who's actually helped a couple other people I know that were in a similar situation. What if I scheduled a call with them, insert edification of Tim, insert edification of whoever, right? And bing bong, pass it along, right? Business is communication. The moment you're out of communication, you're out of business. It's called BAM FAM. Book a meeting from a meeting, right? BAM FAM, BAM, BAM FAM, book a meeting from a meeting. Awesome. Let's go ahead and do this. Stay on the phone with me really quick. Let me shoot my mentor a message. And as you're mentoring him, he's starting to see that you're serious. Don't just end the call then as it starts, right? Do that. Another thing I want to talk about, this is the last thing we're going to talk about. Maybe we'll do a couple questions here, maybe not, we'll see. Is I got this from Eric Worre. And I think this is something that's really, really cool. It's something that I used a lot back in the day, and I honestly haven't used it a lot recently. I don't think I really have to. And it's how do you close someone who says no, right? These are the funnest people, because when someone tells you no and you use this script, and I'll drop it in the chat, right? Take notes, obviously. It's almost impossible for them to say no. Like, it's almost impossible for them to say no. And so let me show you why. So let's say this. Let's say I'm talking to AJ, and AJ, like, hey, man, what did you like best? You know what? I really like to go live. I think it's super cool that you can watch people stream, yada, yada, yada. Well, amazing. Like, I love Go Live too. You guys, I don't know if you guys have seen that training. Talk about what they want to talk about. I've seen people do this. Hey, man, I love crypto. That's amazing. Oh, well, let me tell you more about the options platform. No, just because you do options doesn't mean other people want to, you get what I'm saying? Right? Talk about what they want to talk about. And that's what's going to allow you to, build up that conversation, so on and so forth. So what do you like best? He explained it. Cool. On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you right now? To be honest with you, bro, I'm at like a 1 or 2. I don't want to get started. I think it's too much money, whatever it may be. This is the best line, right? I love this. Eric Worre is the funniest person when it comes to this, because the way he sounds is just hilarious. He goes, well, okay, you know what, AJ? You don't want to get started. That's perfectly fine. I understand. This isn't for everyone. But let's do hypotheticals really quick. So hypothetically, right? Hypothetically, this isn't a contract. This isn't real, right? You don't have to agree with me, but let's just think about this. Hypothetically, if you were to get started, keyword if you were to get started on a part-time basis, just part-time, how much money would you need to make this worth your time? If you were to get started today, just on a part-time basis, right? And I want to remind you guys, part-time is 20 to 30 hours. Some of you think you're part-time, and you're doing 5 hours a week. You're a no-timer. You're not a part-timer. You don't go get a part-time job at Walgreens and work 5 hours a week. That's a shift, right? That's a shift. Some of you needed to hear that on this call because some of y'all are you're killing yourself because you're trying to work 5 hours a week and make 50 grand a month. You're tripping. But on a part-time basis, how much would you have to make? $500 a month. They may say $1,000 a month. They may say $10,000 a month, right? Let them be unrealistic. Let them be realistic. Let them do whatever. Depending on your posture and confidence is going to determine how you can come after them with it. So when they give you that, how much would you need to make it worth your time? Let's say that AJ says $1,000 a month. $1,000 a month. Okay, cool. So realistically, like compare that $1,000 a month to what you're making at your job right now, and think about it, right? Realistically, how many hours a week would you be willing to commit to make that kind of extra income? Like how much time per week in this business, learning this skill set, would you be willing to commit to make an extra $1,000 a month? Some people are like, oh, 1, some people will say 5, some people will be more realistic, they'll say 10 to 20, right? Some people will say 40, and I'm like, man, you're willing to commit 40 hours a week for 1,000. I mean, that actually makes sense. Like that's good income. That's like you're making household average. So, you know, but they're like, I'll do 40 hours a week to make that, but I won't do this business, right? This part is so funny to me when people answer these questions because at the end they're trapped and they know they're trapped. They don't know where I'm going with it, but they know that they're screwed. So they say, okay, I'm willing to invest 15 hours a week. Amazing. Next question, right? Question number 3. There's 4 questions here. How many months would you be willing to work at 15 hours a week to develop that extra $1,000 a month income? Like how many months would you be willing to work? And think about your job. Like how long would it take you at your job? Like how many months of work would it take you at your job to make an extra $12,000 a year? And that's where you get them thinking because they're never going to do that. It's not happening, right? Like you're working at McDonald's. Well, enjoy your 30-cent raise, if that, right? How many months would you be willing to commit? Right? How many months would you be willing to work at 15 hours a week to make that extra $1,000 a month? You know, I think, you know, to make an extra $1,000 a month, probably like maybe 2 to 3 months, you know, 2 to 3 months, I think maybe even 4, like to make an extra $1,000 a month, that would be awesome if I can do that. Cool. So listen to me here. Remember, this is all hypotheticals, AJ. I don't want to force you on anything, but this is all hypothetical. If I can show you how to make an extra $1,000 a month, only doing 15 hours a week of work over the next 4 months, would you be interested in taking the next step and exploring this opportunity? If I can show you how to make $1,000 extra a month, only doing 15 hours a week of work over the next 4 months, would you be interested in exploring this opportunity? Why would they say no? They told you how much they want to make. They told you how much time they're willing to commit. They told you how long they're willing to do it. Why would they say no? You know what, Tim? I'm open. Cool. How do we do that? First, I'm going to send you the link to get started, and I'm going to introduce you to my mentor. That's going to create the step-by-step game plan for you to get started. Don't introduce them to your mentor till they get that link. Some of you, like, you forget the power that you have. Like, you really don't understand how powerful edification is. Like, if someone says that to me, I'm like, cool, listen, man, what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to actually introduce you to my business partner as soon as you get finished up signing up on the link. I'm going to send to you right now. Let's do it together. Because my business partner is top 10 in the world on TradingView. He's the most viewed educator in a $500 million company. He is the only educator that educates cross-platform. He's made millions of dollars in these markets. And not only has he done it, he's duplicated it dozens of times. And before I introduce you to someone like that, I need you to commit to something like this. Some of you forget who you're connected to. You forget the power of edification. You forget that you have the leverage, right? This is like the reason why I still do three-way calls is because I want my prospects to understand I'm the connecting piece to the source. You're not getting there without me. I can do it by myself, but they're connected to the source. But when I'm the connecting puzzle piece to them, you got to work with me, my man. It's the only way, right? So guys, remember this. Closing begins with your level of confidence. It begins with your level of emotional intelligence. It begins with your level of posture. It begins in the presentation. It starts in the presentation. And I know this was a lot of high level things, and I can talk about these things because, guys, I don't know if I put my 10,000 hours in presenting and closing and launch, but I'm pretty damn close. Like, I started this business the end of October of 2017. I started building January, February. I lied, 2016. I started building January, February of 2017, right? We hit chairman in 2020. Took 4 years, 3 years, whatever it was, to get to that point. I put the time in. And the time is going to be there for you too if you keep working at it. You keep experiencing it. You keep practicing, right? Like, you're gonna get no's. Like, I don't know why everyone's so scared of that. Like, don't be scared of no's. The no's are gonna lead you to the people. The no's are your lessons. The no's show you where you need to grow, right? Right? The no's is the universe testing you on whether or not you're really gonna do this. Some of you get 10 no's and you quit the business. Man, I get 10 no's a week. It's not a day. If I'm like in trench mode, like, you should see like my Instagram messages. I get hella no's. Hella no's. I get more no's than most. The way you go chairman, here's the secret: get more no's than anyone else. Get more objections than anyone else. That's how you're gonna go chairman. So guys, I think we're at our time here. We've been going now for 50 minutes. This was a lot of information. This is something, rewatch this. Like, watch it over and over and over again. And I want to do something I did yesterday on the call. For some of you who were on this call with me yesterday, and we talked about the questions to ask your mentor, you know where I'm going to go with this. And if you didn't do what I told you you needed to do yesterday, right, here's your realization, right? Here's your realization. I'm going to give you a little thing to repent, or I guess to get some forgiveness. But number one, drop a 3 in the chat if you guys got value from this call. Just 1 3. I don't need hundreds of them, right? Just 1 3. People yesterday were dropping like 40 of them. I'm like, man, you're the only one lit. I want to see the other names here, right? Cool. A lot of you got value. Amazing, right? I see a lot of names in here from people like who've been in the business for a long time, right? I see John Cuevas dropping a 3, and most people don't know that John Cuevas is actually my favorite person to do trainings with, my favorite person to do calls with, because he's a savage. I love doing calls with him. He's still on this call getting value, right? Number 6, oh, my bad. Drop a 6 in the chat. Not yet. Listen to what I have to say. Some of you be just dropping 6s before I even say it. Drop a 6 in the chat if there was someone on your team who you personally know would have taken advantage of this call, who would have learned something massive from this call, who would have had a breakthrough from this call, who was looking for this information on this call. See a lot of 6s coming in. I mean, there's only 56. I mean, not only, that's a lot of people, actually, 56 people. We can do a lot of damage, right? Like 56 people, we can build a lot of chairmen. I see a lot of 6s, which is good. Now, drop a 9 in the chat. Drop a 9 in the chat if you promise to never not promote for a call like this again. And take it seriously. Don't drop a 9 if you're not going to do it. Guys, these trainings are not just for us to kill time. We don't create the prime time schedule just to kill time and provide extra value. I don't talk about the same things over and over and over and over and over and over again because I don't think they work. Right? We do these things because they do work, right? They do work. And so guys, if you drop the 9 in the chat, make sure you promote for Alex Morin tonight. Alex Morin is going live on Instagram Live. He's going to be talking about the January tour. He's going to be talking about the events happening in Dallas and Houston, New York, Connecticut, Miami, Chicago, Milwaukee. I think he's going to like Wyoming. Who knows? He's going all across the US. And he's going to be talking about that and the importance of what January events do for your business. And so guys, promote for that call. If you know Alex is coming to your city, promote that to your team, get people there, watch him live. And I will get this recording put on the YouTube and set into the Discord as quickly as possible. If you have any private questions or anything that you want more information on, books or things that you missed, message me privately. I got you. But guys, I appreciate you. I love you. I'm grateful for all of you. I hope you have an amazing Tuesday and rest of your week. And I will see you guys at the Platinum 1000 and Platinum 2000 Bootcamp.